All right, guys, here we go. So as we kick off today's workout, it's going to be 6 sets of triples first at 55% plus some band tension, or you can do 65% straight weight. So we're trying to really accelerate the bar as quick as possible, build that strength speed, a little bit of speed strength. And then the second part of this is going to be 4 sets of doubles. So we lowered the volume, increased the intensity even more to 60 to 65% plus band tension. Now, depending on how strong you are and how much band tension you use, 65% plus band tension could be way approaching too heavy for a double. So make sure that you're still accelerating the bar quickly, using the muscles you want to use, and as long as you've met that metric, then you're going to be good to go. Or you can do 70 to 75% of just straight weight. Resting 30 seconds to a minute between sets is a little bit more for the top end. On the bottom end, those 4 sets, you might want to take a full minute rest because it's going to get a little bit heavier. Then for part 2, it's going to be 4 rounds of 30 seconds, either chest to bar, so some kipping pull-ups, pulling up your chest, or wide grip pull-ups at that point. So for me, I did wide grip pull-ups, went as wide as I could, and really try to, when you make your first pull, instead of just pulling yourself up, think, I want to take my scapula and pull it down and retract it in as I pull myself up, right? Why? Because it's good for good shoulder health, it's good for good pathway. You're going to build probably your lat muscles about the same regardless, but you won't have as healthy of a shoulder without concentrating on pulling down, kind of retracting that scapula, or at least depressing that scapula down on the initiation of your pull. So don't let it shoot up on you. Rest in about 20 seconds, and then afterwards, as many reps as possible of hammer curls, right? So just set up, same thing we talked about before, let the elbows stay frozen, try not to swing this bad boy. And if you get a little bit of English on it, make sure you control the lower. Rest in 1 minute between rounds. Part 3 is gonna be 3 rounds, 30 seconds, as many reps as possible. Dumbbell push press, so smooth, but driving at the shoulders, right? And then 20-second rest, then as many reps as possible, side delt raises. So this is gonna smoke, this push press is gonna smoke your shoulders, and then you're gonna take that little rest, and just like the hammer curls, now you're gonna isolate it down. And one thing that I think you can add as well is, as you get set up here, you can kind of come down to a dead stop, give just a little bit of English as you lift. So lift, concentrate, back down. Concentrate, back down. Too easy, nice and simple, just like that. Rest in 1 minute between rounds. Fitness and sport is going to be 5 sets of 5, right? So really a little bit more of a set volume, a couple more reps, but you're not increasing intensity. You're still just going to get a lot of working sets in here. So you got 5 by 5 bench press, 55 to 60%. Part 2 is going to be 4 rounds of 10 pull-ups. Any way you'd like, you can kip it. You can do it strict as well. 50-foot dumbbell bear crawl. So as you set up with your dumbbell bear crawl, you want to make sure that as you're pulling this thing, pull it up to your chest, press. Pull it up to your chest, press, right? As you get tired, you can kind of just, you know, Igor walk this thing through, or I guess zombie walk this as you're going along. But when you're fresh, try to control that range, right? Pulling it up to you. Then when you get to the other end, your 50 foot, you'll stand up, shake it out real quick, pick up your dumbbells, as many reps as possible with a dumbbell push press. Rest that full minute between rounds, because a lot of this is about strong, controlled athletic movement, right? So you're really specific. This isn't just breathe hard. You don't want to be breathing hard while you're doing a dumbbell bear crawl. You want to be, set. You want to be methodical. You want to be athletic as you're moving along. Then for part 3, it's going to be 4 by 20 rear delt raises. So it's a little bit higher of a rep scheme. So with that, it should be a little bit lighter and even more focused on that specific movement. Rest as short as possible, right? So does that mean 5 seconds? It means 30-ish seconds, somewhere in there, long enough that you get a little bit of blood flow back in, you get a little bit of rest, you get a little bit of reset and kind of this glycogen, this entire energy battery pathway, and then get right back to it, squeezing as much as possible. Should be a huge upper back rear delt pump for you. Lag and muscle, mobility majors, TDY, here we go. TDY. So you got 5 sets of dumbbell bench press at 10 reps, right? So I kind of used my first 2 sets, kind of first set-ish, some in the second set, kind of progressively getting heavier each set. I used the last 3 sets were all the same working weight, but with that, I really try not to just move the dumbbells. I want to think about, I'm using the muscles I want. I want to try to feel my pecs squeeze together to the pec line. The neat thing about dumbbells versus a barbell is, as you're lowering it, your hands aren't set. So you can actually articulate them and squeeze them closer together, unlike on a barbell, right? So You're not going to go as heavy, of course, but it gives you the opportunity to allow your shoulder a little bit more range of motion and make sure it's real specific. Resting 30 seconds to a minute between sets. Full transparency, I took a whole minute. And then part 2 is going to be 4 rounds of 30-second dumbbell pullovers. I actually did Power and Iron Up's pull-up version of this. And you guys remember, if you have a pull-up bar, you can do that as well. If you don't, 30-second dumbbell pullovers can be fantastic. Make sure that with this bad boy, you keep it light enough that you can really get good reps, right? And one of the things you can do to add this in there is, instead of saying just here, well, there's nothing wrong with it, you could also take your dumbbells and lay them flat at a much lighter weight. And you're not going to get the same range of motion, but you can open up a little bit more, kind of like you're on a pull-up bar doing muscle-ups at a real narrow grip. If you decide to take the dumbbells and go from here, right, to this neutral grip to more of a pronated grip, make sure you stay light, or else you might get some of that shoulder impingement life, and you don't want that. So 20-second rest, then again as many reps as possible of hammer curls, and you might get more here than the pull-up person. So no sweat, everything works out. You're still building it up. Resting 1 minute between rounds. Part 3, we already talked about, it's that AMRAP dumbbell push press, right? Get your rests in there, get your side delt raises, and then TBY is going to be 5 by 20 chest to ground push-ups. If 20 is not super hard for you, you can always increase, right, your range. You get a little bit of a deficit. If it's too difficult for you, then maybe you do 10 and then you do 10 more on your knees, somewhere in there, to kind of make sure, again, you're focusing on building what you want to build. Rest in 1 minute to 30 seconds. Part 2 is going to be 4 rounds of 45 seconds, as many reps as possible, towel lat pull downs, right? So check out the MHT Daily IG right after this, see what that looks like. But you're going to pull down, really focusing on your back, letting it stretch out as many as you can get in that 45 seconds. Then you got this short rest, and you're going to turn over and now do towel curls, right? Then only a 15-second rest, and you're turning back around, back to the back exercise. So with that, use your arms when you want to use your arms, and use your lats when you want to use your lats. Part 3 is going to be 3 rounds, 30 seconds, as many reps as possible. Doorway presses, right? So you can scale to an odd object press as well. Check out the movements on MHT Daily IG. As many reps as possible. Top range side delt pulses. Rest in 1 minute between rounds. Some lag and muscle if you want it. Everybody hit that mobility majors marching orders. And we look forward to seeing you guys back tomorrow for the core, the glutes, all the other good stuff. Some arms, a little bit of everything on Wednesday. Hoo-yah, never quit.